with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I'm going out to meet a listener of the podcast today. It turns out I have one fan in Bangalore, and it happens to be an Australian dude. So I'm going out today to meet my entire Bangalore fan base. It's good to know I have one. I thought I had zero, so that's 100% improvement on what I thought I had. He actually emailed me a couple of weeks ago. I was meant to meet up with him last week, but it was my sister-in-law's birthday, so I couldn't get to it. So today's the day. I'm excited. I don't know anything about him. It's like a blind date. What's he doing in Bangalore? It's a mystery. But that's the coolest thing about this podcast. Like, no matter where I go now, I'll have at least one friend somewhere. One non-comedian friend. Because that is also the cool thing about being a comedian is I'll have friends wherever I go as long as I'm near comedy. With comedians, you make fast friends because you have like a shared experience. But you need friends outside comedians because they're all mentally ill and disgusting human beings. So it's good to have some normals. Although, this isn't the podcast that attracts that many normals. There's a lot of fucking degennies out there. But that is one of the cool things about this fucking podcast. I can rock up somewhere, just go, hey, who wants to fucking hang? Although I'd probably never do that. You would have to email me. Just remember when I do fucking meet you, I'm not going to do a podcast to your fucking face, all right? I'm a human being. It's going to be like a two-way conversation, and I'm not going to be trying to make you laugh every 2 seconds, okay? I don't have that sort of energy or care. I'm definitely down for a few darts today as well. My daughter's back. She came back last night. She's all good. Out of all the time she was hospitalized, this was probably the least urgent hospitalization. She wasn't really that bad. She's been worse in Australia without us taking her to the hospital. But, you know, the Indians get over worried and they're like, well, it's better to be safe than sorry. So she got discharged, and apparently, I wasn't there. My sister-in-law was dealing with it all. Apparently, they were just charging everything and anything they could. Shit that they didn't do, didn't even fucking attempt to do, they were charging for. We took her bloods, they didn't do that. We put an IV in, they didn't do that. A nutritionist came around to tell us what she should eat. They charged for that. They charged for the masks that we didn't use. Like, they were really charging up a storm. And my sister-in-law was having fucking none of it. Like, she knows what's going on. She's a fucking doctor, so she could argue all the points. She said while she was there, people were coming up to the counter and just going, what the fuck are all these charges? And it was like, kids with cancer and shit like that, they've double charged for like surgeries and shit like that. So you're in one of the worst situations you've ever been in. Your fucking kid's got cancer and has been hospitalized, and then you go to pay the bill and they've double charged for fucking everything. So apparently that billing counter is just fucking chaos. You have to fucking fight tooth and nail just to get shit taken off it because they just throw everything on it. They're fucking looters here in India. Like, it's just a complete kleptocracy. It's from the top to the fucking bottom. It's just thieves and fucking looters. This is what happens when the best people leave, because that's what's happened in India for the last 20 years, is all the best and brightest people get the fuck out of here because there's no incentive to stay. Like, my sister-in-law just left her job, and she's probably one of the best emergency doctors in India. She left because she was getting paid fuck all. I think she was getting 80,000 rupees or 90,000 rupees, which is about 1,600 Australian dollars a month. And the looter at the top just reaps in everything, just takes all the fucking money. The doctors who are working their ass off, and she works her ass off as well, earn nothing, and there's not even like chances to progress. Like, she was meant to become an associate and all this sort of shit, but, you know, they promise you everything and nothing ever happens. And this is for the best people as well. So she's like, fuck this. And now her and her husband are going to move to Dubai, where they're going to be earning like 15,000, 20,000 US a month instead of 1,600 Australian dollars a month. So why would you stay in India? Like the people at the top are earning, like her head of department, he takes a percentage of every single fucking patient that comes in. So he's earning plenty. He's earning like 50, 60,000 Australian dollars a week, but it doesn't get passed down. But that happens with everything in India. Like you leave engineering school here and you're earning 30,000 rupees a month, which is about 800 Australian dollars, which is about 600 or 550 US dollars a month for an engineer. So why would you stay? Why wouldn't you just get the fuck out immediately? And that's what's been happening for 20 years. And what you get left with is 1.3 billion incompetent fucking cunts. And when you're incompetent, your best course of action is to become a thief. And that's what you get left with. From the very top to the bottom is fucking thieves, criminals, looters, incompetence. It's crazy because I'm reading this book, Atlas Shrugged, and we're living in the world of Atlas Shrugged at the moment. India is a glaring example, but the rest of the world is fucking on course as well. Anyway, my daughter's back. She's healthy, and I've got to go on this date. So that's it for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you the fuck later.